It cannot.
Because government has denied it.
No, it's not enough. You don't know more than IMF when it comes to financial issues. These guys, they track your budget. In fact, they know much more about your economy than you. And so they are stating facts. I was thinking that the government would challenge them further. But they did it. Rather, what Oyedele went into is the grammatical geriatrics to cover their infamy.
A public affairs commentator. And virtually from our Benin station, we're joined by Kelvin Ejimudo, Senior Special Assistant to Governor of Delta State on Human Rights. He joins us virtually. Kelvin is one person I know that speaks truth to power, regardless of where he dines. Ekundayo Lawal will join the conversation much later, and we'll also be joined by Oluwadamola Adeshoga. He's with us already. Oluwadamola Adeshoga Nuyi, a gubernatorial candidate, AAC Lagos State. Well, let's start off with the barrister with us in the studio. 8.83 trillion naira. Barrister Darlington, good morning to you. Welcome to the conversation.
Morning, Moses.
8.83 trillion naira.
Yes. The way you are mentioning this money, I think it looks big to you. But this money is not bigger than 210 trillion. It's not bigger than the other money that Benga Komalafe went away with. So we have so many of them.
Before you proceed, let's put this in perspective so our listeners can understand that 8 trillion may not be as big as 200 trillion, but 1 trillion naira. If you do the maths, if you watching me right now, if you are asked to spend 1 million naira every day, ensure you finish 1 million naira every day. If you're given 1 trillion, say, look, make sure you spend and finish 1 million every day. It will take you over 2,000 years to finish 1 trillion naira. In fact, 2,740 years, if my math is not wrong. So you would have started spending it from the time of Jesus and spend it up until now. But somebody should do the math again for me there. 1 trillion, 1 million, 1 million spent daily, Monday to Sunday, will take you over 2,000 years. So we have our government taking 200 and something trillion.
Good.
What is going on?
Your calculation depends on who is spending the money. A spendthrift will finish that money in 1 week.
How?
Good. By the time he goes on a frivolous spending, buying goods that he does not need to give to friends and all that, that money will finish in 1 week. Oh. I'm telling you the truth. Remember the prodigal son. So it depends on who is spending the money. And that's a fact. Now, let's go back to business. 8.8 trillion naira. Moses, I have told you people here that I am very sure from the calculations I have made, from the research I have made in my own little way, our money is going into somewhere. And Tinubu is not accounting to anybody. Yesterday in our show, Spotlight, Esther read out humongous amount of money that Serap is asking Tinubu to account for, apart from this 8 trillion naira. And I said, where are this money going to? These are physical cash.
Okay, all right.
That means that we are just talking about this because IMF raised the alarm.
Exactly. Mr. Gomo, thanks for bringing up to this point, because I wanted us to put it in proper context, because when it says that Obi alleges, I mean,
it was IMF.
It is not Obi that is alleging.
Yes,
because it's contained in the IMF report.
Exactly.
That 2% of our budget, annual budget, was spent out of budget expenditure and all of that. So, but the government is denying it now. So the Christian Ebeke, the IMF region country representative in Nigeria, could that fellow be telling us lies?
He cannot.
Because government has denied it.
No, it's not enough. You don't know more than IMF when it comes to financial issues. These guys, they track your budget. In fact, they know much more about your economy than you. And so they are stating facts. I was thinking that the government would challenge them further. But they didn't. Rather, what Oyedele went into is the grammatical geriatrics to cover their infamy. All those things Oyedele was talking about, did he explain anything? The answer is no. He did not. Why don't they challenge IMF? Challenge them and say, come and prove this thing, or we are going to take it up with you. That is what I expected the government to do, to prove that, yes, IMF is lying. But they didn't. Rather, they went into talking financial jargon. Financial jargon. Why didn't you explain all this thing before IMF raised it up? Whenever these guys are cornered, you will see them playing defensive game. Defensive game. If IMF do not raise that issue, I am telling you, nobody would have had. The other money they misappropriated. What happened to them?
Now, Mr. Agomo, you said something that needs further interrogation. You said that all of these monies, 210 trillion, 505 point something trillion, 8.3 trillion, that it is going somewhere. Do you by chance know where this money is getting into?
I can hazard a guess. This government knows that they have lost favor with the international community and everybody. And so, because I am basing this based on what Ladi Thompson said the other time, that $150 million were taken to U.S. to placate Donald Trump and government officials in U.S. Since that time, Bayonoga have not spoken. Nobody have come to deny it. That means there are facts to it. So if 150 was taken away, do you think that's the only money? It cannot be. I am thinking that this government is being blackmailed, and they cannot come out to say it because they want to remain in office. They want the international community to validate their government, to give them approval, you know. So when things like this are happening, it is important that we interrogate further. Where is our money going to? All this money that Tinubu have refused to account for, where is it going to? Who is taking it?
Can we talk about Barrister? Can we talk about the National Assembly here? Because according to the Constitution, according to the Constitution, they have the power of the purse. So what is their role here? If such an oversight, if such amount of money can just be approved,
look,
did it even go through an approval? If such an amount of money can't be accounted for, what exactly is their role at the end of the day?
Please, my dear, let me tell you the truth, and that is a fact. The National Assembly you have are errand boy to the executive of this country. They are errand boy to Tinubu, because Agbabio said it, that whatever comes from the villa, he will just stamp it without even going through. He said it with his own mouth. So is that a body you call your National Assembly? They cannot be my National Assembly because they are not living up to it. If they do, both the fake agency and what, they would have discovered it. It's like these people don't even know what it means to govern. These are things they should have combed. That is, they have a committee on this budgeting. Who would have comb? That is, use comb it. Pick out all the relevant agencies there. They should have done, that's their work.
Okay.
They should have done the
I'm happy that you talked about the fake agency. We'll talk about that in a bit. But let's return to the issue of where you think these monies are going to. You know, and you recall there was a certain 800 billion naira contributed by progressive governors. And the person that it went into cannot account for it. All of these monies, what do you think that they might be meant for?
I just told you here that Tinubu is looking for money to placate some power that be.
Okay.
Yes, he's paying to remain in office.
Okay, it has nothing to do with 2027.
It has nothing, because he can afford to. Did he not tell you that he was the one that financed his 2023 election? So if he could finance his election when he was not in power, is it now that it's the power that somebody is going to help him to finance the election? No, is it now? We are talking of 210 trillion that is missing. Nobody is accounting for it. Right. The national chairman of APC said it that that matter is before Tinubu's term.
Well, the 210 trillion naira was in 2017. He wasn't in office then.
Are you serious?
Was he?
So
I just thought, was he in office then?
So it is only when you are in office that you can take money, Abi? Really? Okay. Have you asked yourself why that money had to be precise? 210 trillion. That means every year a 30 trillion is missing from NNPCL. That's why he came to that 210 for 7 years. Calculate it. For 7 years. So you think that the people that took that money, they ran away with it? No.
All right.
Some of that money is in Nigeria and somebody have taken hold of it. Remember what happened to Abacha? When the Abacha loot was exposed, it was Abdul Salami who took over. So he quietly told the Abacha family, return that money so that we will not prosecute you. So when they returned the money, Abdul Salam Abubakar now put it in his pocket. Right. You now stole a stolen money. So when they are looking for the thief, they didn't know that you are taking the money that the thief stole. And so nobody is calling your name.
All right. We understand that you will have to, we'll have to let you go because you'll be going to our sister station to analyze a few more things. So, but give us your concluding thoughts on this one.
Yes, please. This money must not go away. Plus so many other money. Because, look, I'm waiting for the day any APC person will come and tell me that Tinubu is looking for money. He's a master strategy. I will quarrel with that person on this platform. I will. Because this is too much. Look at the amount of money that is just wasting. And we are here hungry, looking for money to eat and all that. Remember, somebody is frittering away our money. Calculate this money that we are talking about here. All the money that have disappeared under Tinubu. Is there not to set up a new country entirely? And this man just went there to squander the money without no accountability. And somebody are telling me here that we are going to go to Eldorado. Equity Eldorado. You go to Eldorado with money. You go to Eldorado with money. You grow a country with money. Not when the money have disappeared, you are telling me we are going to share prosperity where? There is no share prosperity. What we are looking at here is shared starvation. So you are not supposed to wake up and ask Tinubu questions. Because this man doesn't know anything about governance. Nothing. All those propaganda has been exposed now. He knows nothing about governance. That is the truth. He was in Lagos here. We saw what he did. So why do you think he will go and change in Abuja? A lot of money that nobody is giving account. And you are telling me that we have a president. Please.
All right, now thank you very much, Darlington Agumo, who is a lawyer and a public affairs commentator. These are his words. Well, let's go virtual now. We do have Oluwadamola Adeshoga Solnuyi. He joined the conversation. He is a gubernatorial candidate, AAC, Lagos State. Good morning to you. We'd like to establish communication with you. So do unmute your device so we can get your audio feed.
Okay.
Yes. Good to have you join us this morning. I heard something there. I hope that is enough to work with. Now, where such funding gap exists, what are the implications for Nigeria's debt sustainability, investor confidence, and public accountability?
To start with, I would like to correct my name. My name is Oluwadamola Adesoka Solnuyi, not Adeshoga. It's Adesoka Solnuyi.
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Back to your question. Okay, you want to say something?
No, go ahead, please.
Okay, back to your question. The issue of stolen funds and corruption is nothing new in Nigeria. It's been there from inception where Nigeria was, named Nigeria. So it's not about a particular person or a particular party. It's just a clique, a group of people. So my take on this is whoever that is corrupt, any leader that is corrupt at any level is just a security risk. The former contributor made mention of something which is very, very important. There is no leader that is corrupt that the international community or that have interest in Nigeria will not try to manipulate. So if Nigerians want to change the narrative, if they want to stop complaining, they should go out to go and vote. Nothing is going to stop. Corruption is just embedded in Nigerian culture. It's simple as that. So the investors, the foreign capitalists, the venture capitalists that might want to come to Nigeria to invest or just to visit for business opportunities, of course, they have the information even more than we Nigerians. They know what they're looking for, and they know what they're going to do. So corruption is not going to stop them from not doing whatever they want to do. It's just that it's going to be a negative effect on Nigeria and Nigerians because they will manipulate our leaders, they will threaten our leaders, and they will tell them they'll take all those stolen money away from them. So they don't have a choice than to comply with them. So
Okay.
my take on this is any leader at any level in Nigeria that is corrupt is a national security risk to
Okay.
the state
All right.
of where it's governing or to Nigeria.
All right. Good morning, Damola. Let me stay with you. Let me stay with you. Now, in all of this, we are looking at a situation where I don't want us to talk about the 210 trillion naira. I don't want us to talk about 5-point-something trillion. I don't want us to talk about how many billions of naira that NNPC are used for rebranding, just to change the name from
5
NNPC.
billion.
Just to add the PLC.
5 billion.
5 billion naira just to add the PLC and all of that. 8.83 trillion naira, according to IMF. I mean, nobody made this up. It is IMF, a country officer, that said, well, 2% out of budget approval and all of that, nobody can account for it. In all of this, how do you think that Nigerians, can ensure or will ensure that these monies are recovered? Looks like we have a way of sweeping things under the carpet here. 210 trillion naira explanations have been given. After a while, Sarah went to court and nobody's hearing anything again. 5-point-something trillion, nobody's hearing anything. Now, 8.83 trillion naira. What do you think that the Nigerian people can do to ensure that people, who steal us in this way, who steal our money in this manner, if it's established, that they don't go free, that they are able to pursue justice to the conclusion? What can we do as a people?
That's just it's a very, very simple question. The first thing I will have to say is most Nigerians don't even know numbers. When you call billions, millions, trillions, they might not even understand the value of those amounts of money. So what Nigerians can do as individuals, as group, as Nigerians, is just to make sure they go out to vote. That's the only way you can elect credible leaders. Leaders that that they are corrupt free, that you don't even have any history of corruption in their records. I've said it again. There is no leader that is corrupt that is not a security risk to the nation. So there's nothing anybody can do about that until
your position is that when we elect new leaders, when we elect new leaders, we'll let the people that stole the money walk away. Then the new leader will come and steal his own, we'll remove him from office and he walks away. I mean, how do we get justice for the Nigerian people? That's my straightforward question. How do we secure justice for the Nigerian people?
I've answered the question. I said any Nigerian leader that is corrupt is a national security risk. So Nigerians must elect those people that they feel that are not corrupt. New people, new faces, that they have credibility, that they can track their records. That they can track their records from their kindergarten when they were growing up, wherever they live in, from their primary school, secondary school to university, their family, they should be able to do that. It should come to public records. If they cannot do that, we're just in a cycle. And one other thing I want to say is they're talking about this corruption, stolen funds, everything. I have a little idea about the way government works. There is no money that is stolen without any help assistance from accountants. It's not possible because they write checks, they write vouchers, they sign all those things. So those accountants should be held responsible, not only the governors. Governors, they say they have immunity. President, they say they have immunity. But if those accountants are held responsible, very, very responsible, I'm telling you honestly, it will be reduced drastically. Very drastically.
You talked about getting non-corrupt persons into power. Do you think a non-corrupt person can still thrive or do the right thing in a society that is already very corrupt? In a system that is already corrupt. Do you think that can happen? Or do you think an overhaul is actually possible in Nigeria of today?
It's very, very, very possible. We still have credible credible, very credible Nigerians, even living in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. It's very, very credible. That came from good families that have good backgrounds. It's just that they are shying away from governance. That's why someone like me, we came out to say, oh, enough is enough. We have to help our people. We have to bring credibility to the system of governance in Nigeria. They should check me out anywhere they want to do. They should go out and check me out. There are so many people like me in Nigeria. But it's just that they are afraid. They feel that they're going to kill them. They feel they're going to do them so many bad stuff. Nigerian politics.
Right.
But if we all stay aback, nothing is going to change. That's my take. Whoever that is coming in as a public office holder or will be,
Okay.
they should check that person in and out.
All right. Damola, before we leave you and go to our next guest, I'd like for you to tell us, among the lot, that are running for presidency in this 2027, are you able to tell us one person, that looks credible to you that can do the cleanup to clean the audience table?
Yeah, he has been saying it time and time again. Our presidential candidate, Omorele Sowore, I've been saying it time and time again that he's ready, he's going to do this, he's going to do that, he's going to do that for all corrupt leaders in Nigeria.
Okay, all right.
I don't think Nigerians are ready for that.
All right. Thank you very much. I didn't expect anything less than that. Thanks for staying with us. We'll come back to you in the course of the show. In the meantime, let's quickly run to Comrade activist Kelvin Ejumudu, who joins us from Delta State. Good morning, comrade, and thanks for being part of the show. We do appreciate your presence as always. Can we establish connection with you?
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. Good morning for having me.
Good morning. Beautiful. Now, I'm sure you have followed this conversation. 8.83
Very well, sir.
Beautiful. 8.83 trillion naira, according to IMF, out of budget approval and all of that. How do you react to that, sir? Hello, Kevin, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, I said it is a national disgrace. And like I always say, you can't shame the shameless. A country without shame, you can't shame them. A system that doesn't have shame, you can't even shame them. The commander of the armed forces should be ashamed of himself as the president of Nigeria. How can we keep having such figures leaving the covers of our finances always? You remember when Fela was alive, he complained oil money is missing. Till date, we still have money missing from the budget. It's appalling. It's an aberration. It's a slight in the face of masses. The government keep taking us for the ride. There are some of these kind of things you cannot do in some other countries. The countries will burn down. It seems we as the masses we are too relaxed, allowing the bourgeois to dictate the base as always. When we start rising up to the ovation and calling them to action, taking them to court and following our cases.
Beautiful. Now, comrade.
Then they'll begin to understand that we are more interested now in governance. This money is our money.
Okay, now, comrade, beautiful. You have said two things that are quite instructive, and I'd like for us to. Beautiful. Now, number one is it proper for us to hold the president responsible for everything that goes wrong in this administration? I mean, the president has a minister of finance and coordinating minister of the economy. There's an accountant general. We have minister of budget and national planning and all of that. Should we be holding the president responsible for all of this? That is number one. Number two, you said we should rise to the occasion. What can Nigerians do? What can Nigerians do? Go ahead, Kelvin.
Okay, thank you very much. The first, the commander of the armed forces should be blamed for every problem that is happening within his office. When a coach goes into a competition, you go with your best 11, because you do not want failure, you do not want excuses. And when you see that the game is not going as planned, you make good substitutions, bring people in that can man the field. That's the same way governance is. If it goes sour, the president and commander of armed forces will be held liable. He sworn on oath that he will uphold the constitution. He sworn on oath that will protect government property. He sworn on oath that our public funds will be well managed. So if after swearing on oath, he cannot put people that will manage office to wrong this vision, then he is the one to be held accountable. So for every lacuna, for every failure within the system, the president and commander of armed forces should be held liable for it. Having said that, sir, Nigerians can come together. Even I as a CSO, we took federal government to court. We were in court for about 2 years over the abandonment of the East-West Road that leads to Port Harcourt and abandonment of the Benin Warri Road. My occasion took the federal government to court. So if Nigerians keep coming out together to take them to court, when they have a lot of cases against them in court, calling for accountability, then they will know that Nigerians are also, we are not getting wiser. People will just come and lament on social media and they will go and sleep. But when we come together and put a case through to the federal government, they must answer us. Because the judiciary also must write innovation. I don't understand what's going on anymore. The EFCC, the ICPC, they've left their duty. Because how do these monies leave the coffers without the EFCC have a trail of it? But when they see a young boy riding the Benz, they will get through fence, use every means possible to go into an apartment to bring someone and allow them to be a fraudster.
All right, Kelvin.
And their job is to monitor monies from the government coffers and also private coffers that goes in and goes out.
All right, Kelvin. We have continuously extended budgets under this administration. From when it came in 2023, we've had budgets, supplementary budgets extended, and all of that. Now, the process of supplementary budget, has it become a means of bypassing the discipline of the annual budget process? Could that probably be why we have budgets that we are unable to really account for?
I would say that also it's a plague, but more so, the civil servants within government levels, they are also very corrupt because they are the ones aiding these politicians to steal this immense amount of money. Because money, we have bureaucracy within the civil service and within governance. So in all of this, supplementary budget, and they said, okay, supplementary budget, they want to adjust, they want to do that, all of that. That's why they keep padding the budget. And over time, people have raised alarm that the budget is being padded. Mm-hmm. Then after they call the government to come out and defend that it's not being padded because of the fall in price of crude. They have to do X, Y, and all of that. They keep tricking us with figures. And it's appalling that a country that's trying to survive, we have people ripping us off our finances in this manner.
Talking about surviving, let me bring the question.
The monies we go borrowing, those monies we won't borrow, we don't even need them.
All right. I was just about to bring the question to the studio because you just touched on something that I think is very, very important, talking about surviving and continue borrowing. But let me ask you the question and then have our studio guest, Lawale Kundayo, react to the question as well. Talking about borrowing, and if Nigeria continues to borrow heavily, while the people cannot really account for some of these monies. Now, does this amount to what extent does this amount to now, to what extent, how can we prevent government from continued borrowing, seeing that monies that have been borrowed really cannot be said to be used for the things that they were borrowed for? We have a situation whereby we have, the government is extending putting out supplementary budgets, borrowing more monies, and then the country is going deeper and deeper into debt, even though we are told that we haven't gotten to the threshold, our borrowing threshold. How can we curb this?
We're going to losing our sovereignty because he who goes borrowing goes begging. We keep borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. The next thing you hear is that the persons with which we borrow this money from, to come and take over our national asset. Today, they said the Chinese firm is taking over trying to help them rehabilitate the Warri refinery and Port Harcourt refinery. They do not show us the agreement that was reached. And in all of this, it will baffle you to understand also that when they keep borrowing in this manner, the country will fall into high indebtedness and to lead to civilian unrest. And when it leads to civilian unrest, I think that's the point that the government will not sit up. Because the way they are going now, they are pushing the masses into extreme poverty. And when people are poor, they are hungry, they look for every means possible to survive. And once survival hits back, the government will feel the pinch of the day. Hence, enough is enough, and they must desist from this act of borrowing to embezzle. You don't produce, you don't export. All you do is just borrow. You go, and a country so blessed will borrow money to construct a road.
All right then.
You borrow money to fund your seaport. You borrow money to fund your airport. I don't understand where we are.
All right then. Thank you very much.
That's a situation, and if it continues like in this part, Naija will lead to a failed state. And when we lead to a failed state, because it's a chaos and anarchy. We'll talk about the center of the day.
All right. Thank you very much, Kelvin Ejimodo. Lawale Kundaya now. The coastal highway, largely, there was, the outcry that the initial funds put into the coastal highway did not go through the National Assembly. That was the initial response, but then we've seen how that has continued. Now, if these allegations, this is still in the realm of allegations now, if this allegation, 2% of the budget, if this allegation proved to be true, what are the constitutional, criminal, consequences, and that should be meted out to officials found culpable in all of this?
It's that question is a very, very I won't say funny, but it's a question that you should not be asking me. You know why? Because in Nigeria here, we know that all those things don't work.
There are no consequences.
No consequences. You can't, constitutionally, no consequences. Where will I go? There's no consequences in Nigeria for every action, especially when it's done by the action that are done by the government.
Why are there no consequences? Because the people don't hold government accountable?
It's not that
or
they
because
don't.
Government is above being held accountable.
The people in power have caged the rule of law and the masses. You get? So when you have this dog leashed and then you put it somewhere, the dog can be barking, it can never get to you. That is what we face here. Constitutionally, you can't do anything to them. Is it EFCC that will go after them? ICPC, the police, even the judiciary, who will actually go after them?
You sound as if it's a hopeless situation in Nigeria. You can't hold any government official accountable.
Which one of them?
Misappropriated funds.
Emefiele,
Yeah, he's being held accountable.
Good. But somebody gave him the orders now. And the person said, he works for me. I gave him I'm aware of everything he does.
You can't accuse the dead, can you?
No, he was alive then. He was alive then.
But he's no longer with us.
No. He was alive then.
But he's no longer with us now.
No.
Emefiele.
That's why I said.
Isn't that being held accountable?
That's why I said that it was it only Emefiele there?
But at least
Finance minister is there. I was there. NNPC, whatever. So many. How many of them? Now, so put Emefiele is not the only person that worked for Buhari. So many others that worked for Buhari. And we are talking about 210 trillion being missing. And it passed through the time of Buhari. And then you pick Emefiele. What about the people that work with the Minister for Petroleum, which was Buhari? How many of them are facing what Emefiele is facing? How many? And they've been dragging this Emefiele all along. I think that is the whole of our problem. That is the only person that is doing corruption in Nigeria. By the time we are through with this person, everything will die down. Is that what we are facing? How many years now? And we're still dragging this issue of Emefiele over and over again. You've forgotten the human this disaster management area.
Better you do.
even the person that she took over from.
Now, don't you
Now,
think,
look at who
don't
are
you
you?
think-
Why is the system? Look at it. The system has not taken care of all of these ones. We see had the one of allegation against Gbajabiamila.
who makes up the system? The people.
And then somebody is, I read when the government, one government official was talking on channels, I think, saying that there are people who are in government that are aiding Prince Adeyemi, to tarnish the image, that they should be fished out. Is that the way to solve an issue? Somebody is alleged. Have you interrogated that person? Has the person faced the due process to be sure that this person is innocent? And then you shielded the person. You see the case of Akpabio, you get it? That he has an allegation of sexual harassment or whatever.
In essence, what you're saying is...
So which of the
This
system actually
I would like for us to
takes
have
care
a
of these
civil
people?
conversation, talk and response. I would like for us to have a civil conversation. Yes. So in essence, what you're saying now is that this administration will not hold people accountable, all right, for misappropriating funds. But the question I'm asking you is, what can the people do to ensure that those in government are held accountable, or are the people helpless in Nigeria?
The people can still take actions because power belongs to the people in practice. When the people are ready to take that power, that is the problem we are facing in Nigeria. Power always belongs to the people. But that is the practice. But in Nigeria here, we are kind of caged, leashed at so many different points that before you are able to remove this leash, so many other leeches are holding you down. Talk about poverty, talk about so many, you come out, you want to protest, the police are after you. So many like that. But still, the power still belongs to the people. When the people are ready to get it, protest, no matter what happens, you must understand that this thing is a battle that needs to be fought, or else you get yourself more into the mess. That is what we are facing.
So, if I should go by what you're saying, you're actually even saying that even the scandal that broke out last week about the phantom Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, and, we have SERAP now calling for accountability, asking for accountability from the Senate President because of the 1.3 billion that was allocated to that ministry. So are you saying that all of this is just cheap talk and nothing will happen?
Is this SERAP that's supposed to go to court? That's supposed to be taking the issue up? Is it SERAP? You get it? SERAP is a non-governmental organization. What about the governmental organizations? EFCC is here, ICPC. What about the House, the Senate, the House of Assembly? Are they making any calls? Are they setting up committee to look into this thing? Everything is quiet.
Well, why would they do that? Because the government is denying that's a phantom agency. The agency never existed.
It's the executive that denied it. The judiciary didn't deny it. The reps.
That's why SERAP has gone to court.
SERAP is a non-governmental organization.
But it's a pressure group. So don't you think...
I'm not saying it's wrong.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's good. But I said it's non-governmental organization. What about the House of Assembly? What about this? Because the Senate passed this budget.
Yeah.
And the man said, this thing is in the budget. And the government said no. Is it not government?
Our straightforward question is this. My straightforward question is this. Now, government is denying that this agency does not exist. So how do you expect the government that is denying to probe itself?
That's what, we have three arms of government.
Okay.
We have the executive. The executive is the one denying it. We still have the judiciary arm of government.
No,
we still have the parliamentary.
Until the case is brought before them.
No. You bring a case before judiciary. It's different from judiciary, going to investigate some certain case. Nobody stopped them.
How will the judiciary do that?
They have resources to do that now.
To investigate?
Yes, they can do that.
When the case is not being brought before
yes, they can do that. You know why? Because it's a budget. Everybody can pick up the budget. The budget is a law. You get it? And the law is in the jurisdiction of the judiciary.
Lawyers,
you can pick up.
Are you saying lawyers should take it upon themselves to ask questions, not the judiciary itself?
No. All of them, because it's in the realm. This is a law.
About government now.
Wait, I'm coming. That's why I said it's not wrong if the judiciary decided to, do some investigation on their own. There's no law that said they can't do it. Am I right?
All right.
Now, in the House of Assembly, we have the Senate and the reps. They pass this budget, they're supposed to look at it themselves and investigate. You set up a committee.
Well, there are allegations that this is done without the approval of certain government agencies like the National Assembly. But let's get the view of our guest who joins us from Port Harcourt. We have Edward Edemajoro joins the conversation. Dr. Edward Edemajoro joins the conversation from Port Harcourt. Let's establish communication with you and have your take on this as we coast home now. Good morning to you. Well, do we have Dr. Edward with us? Well, let's wrap up this conversation now. We'll pick it up some other time because this is still in the eye of the storm, as it were. Nigerians are still asking questions, and we do hope that we will find answers to these questions. Let's get concluding thoughts from Benin, where we have Kelvin Ejimudo. Kelvin, please, let's have you give us your concluding thoughts in 1 minute.
Thank you very much. My own take is we must charge the government and hold them accountable. Nigerians should not be deterred. It's our responsibility to demand accountability from the government, and we should take them to court. Let's test the constitution to know if what is written there is also admissible in court of competent jurisdiction. I submit. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Kelvin Ejimudo. Damola Olushoka, please, let's have your concluding thoughts on this one.
Yeah, my concluding opinion is every system of governance in Nigeria should be tested by the Nigerian people. You know, in every government, you have the executive, you have the judiciary, and you have the legislators. But the power of the people is the most powerful. But Nigerians have not used that power. So they need to use that power by, number one, testing every system, going to court. Even some people say the court is not working, but they should try and do that. And if that is not working, then Nigerians should come out to protest. That's what civilized nations do. By the time you protest, things are going to change. But Nigerians are most Nigerians are scared. I've been on the street of Lagos, I've interviewed people, I've talked to people. I can see from their expression that they are just scared. They just want peanuts to survive. That's just it.
Well, quite unfortunate.
And it's unfortunate.
Quite unfortunate, yes, indeed. Quite unfortunate if the people are scared to express themselves. Lawale Kundayo, in 1 minute, please.
Yes, the point is this, that the people must realize that if they don't take the actions that are necessary to be taken to stop this thing, it will continue to get worse. It will continue to get worse. So we must do everything necessary. Like we are discussing it now, it's one of the things that are necessary to be done. Taking them to court is necessary. Getting international communities involved is necessary. Probing judiciary. Our election is very important. Who are we electing?
All right then.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lawale Kundayo. Well, let's get into another conversation. Gentlemen, we'd like you to stay with us. ADC accuses the APC, that's the African Democratic Congress, accuses the All Progressive Congress of pressuring INEC ahead of 2027 polls. What does this imply? Let's get into it after this break.